Okay, so good morning. A very good morning from my side here. It's a happy new week. I'm wishing you. And it's also a new month, and I'm really excited. Okay, so I want to welcome you. Let me know where you're calling in from or where you're joining us from. If you're here in Lagos, please let me know. I want to welcome you and appreciate you for the fact that you're here this early. I know it's not convenient, but you will appreciate what I want to share with you this morning, okay? Um, we'll be talking about smart money moves, how to unlock maybe more streams of income, build money systems, and also strategies for income growth. Okay, so that is why we are here. We all want to earn more. Okay, everybody wants financial security, we all want stability. And for me, I want to build a more income yielding assets. So some of us here may also be interested in that. So I'll just take you through the preliminaries of this. I want to open up your eyes to certain things that you need to know about making money and being financially stable so that on your own you can now research more and read more. Okay, I want to encourage you to read a lot of money books because money is a science on its own. Okay, and if you understand how the money making process works, then it's fine. So it's not just all about making money. There are also systems that manage money and systems that also respond to money. So if you make so much money, of course, the government comes after you with taxes. Okay, so if you don't also know how to respond to the government's rules and needs, it becomes a problem. So I'll be talking about some of those things today. So I know I want to secure my financial future and I'm working towards this. I want to open up our eyes. Most of us here are young, so I want you to take it seriously, your financial future. You know how you're going to secure it. You have bills to pay, you want some level of comfort, and you want to also attain a high level of significance. So I want to encourage you to just ride with me for the next 1 hour and we will be out of here. Now, I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Ijoma, architect. Ijoma, I'm an architect. Okay, so I set up Hero Projects. I founded Hero Projects because I wanted to help professionals. And when I say professionals, you can either be making your expressions in the career world or you're an entrepreneur, but you're a professional in something that, you're selling your knowledge or your skill, okay? So I want to help them build profitable businesses so that they can have the freedom, okay, to live the life that they have always wanted. So that is why I am doing what I'm doing here, okay? So Hero Projects, yes. Okay, so it's a platform professionals who want to just help you be successful in everything that you do. So I've come to the conclusion that this life is a stage. Okay, so on this stage called life, you are the hero. Okay, you're the hero on your sets, and your life, your dream, your purpose, and your journey is your greatest projects. Okay, so if you can master it, then you're a winner. Okay, so that's why we're here. So, like I said, I've come to the conclusion that life is a stage. Okay, and you're the hero on your set. Okay, so you're not the victim, and you're not. Don't feel victimized. You're not supposed to feel that life is not fair. You're not supposed to feel that things are not working. So if you're the hero, we will play our part like the hero, that at the end of the day, our story aligns with the dreams that we have or the purpose that God has given us. Okay, so I'm doing this because I want you to build a masterpiece out of your life, and I want you to live your life intentionally, and I want you to own your life completely. Okay, so we've done trainings that have reached out to about 250 professionals and entrepreneurs who want to do more. Okay, and at least 80% of the businesses and people that have attended it have actually confirmed some level of growth in their lives. And the first level starts from mindset, because once you can shift your mindset, every other thing grows along with you. So some people, about 80%, have also been able to scale their ideas, okay? And 95% will always want to recommend our activities, to other people. So that's why you're here. But seriously, I'm an architect. Monday to Friday, I'm very busy with my work, but I try to find out little chunks of time that I can give back. Okay, so let me get back to the business of the day. Good morning. Somebody is joining us from Lagos. Okay, so you're welcome here. It was nice to meet you. I'm here in Lagos too. Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so we're looking at smart money moves. I'll be very fast. Okay, so I'm going to share in the chat box. I'm going to share 2 links with you. Okay, now those links, I'm going to share the workbook. Okay, where's my chat? Okay, I'm going to share. Please, as more people come in, somebody can help me reshare. Okay, so I just shared 2 links with you now. And one of them is the workbook, and also one of them is the content of what I'm going to discuss all about today. So I said I'll talk to you about money gaps and money maps. Then I'll talk to you about some money moves you can make as a professional. Then also how to look at your Q3 and Q4 plan. So please, I'm going to run so that I can finish in an hour. Now, there are about 3 common money gaps that we have as individuals, okay, or even business owner. So the first one is a knowledge gap. You cannot rise to your potential. Okay, so you don't just rise to your potential. You may think you have potentials, yes. Do you understand? But you need knowledge for every new level you're aspiring into. Okay, so what it means is that you rise to the level of your knowledge. You rise to the level of the things you know. Okay, so once you can close the gaps you have in your knowledge, then you can change your game. So you need knowledge about money. If you're not making money, it just means that there are certain things about money you don't understand. Okay, Ecclesiastes chapter 10 verse 15 says that the labor of the foolish wearieth everyone. Okay, because he doesn't know how to go to the city. So anytime you find yourself struggling, just know that there's a knowledge gap. And that is the issue with the Bible says the foolish. I'm not calling anybody foolish, but when I notice I'm struggling, I just know that I have a gap in knowledge. So it's better I go to bridge the gap, and get to know exactly what I'm missing. So remember, I said that there are 3 gaps. One is knowledge, one is income gap, and 2 is this discipline gap. So let's look at knowledge gap. Number 1, you have to understand that money is a reward. Okay, so if you want more money, what it means by reward is that, money is a reward. You offer a service, you make money. Money is a reward. You offer value, you make money. Okay, so there are sometimes you do some projects, and we do it very, very well. Okay, then the client will be like, wow, congratulations. Okay, your work is good, and that means more work. And it says the reward for good work is more work. And what it means is that, so me, I felt the reward for good work is more money. No, the reward for good work is more work. So more work means money. The reward for good products is more sales. More sales means money. So your target is to understand that money is a reward. So if your value system is messed up, there's no product you're offering, or the value is not exceptional, there's your competition in the markets, and you're not playing well, then it becomes a problem. Now, I'm talking to also career people. You're working in an office. If you're not offering exceptional value, you will earn what every other person is earning. So you're a career person, you started working there, and what you're still doing in that office is what you were doing when they employed you. It's a problem. Do you understand? So we're supposed to be improving and also upgrading our value to earn money. Okay, so money is actually meant to grow. So some of us make money and start it. No, you make money and set up processes and system where the money is grow. It's going to grow. So if you don't know how to grow it, it will become a problem. If you don't know how to make it, it becomes a problem. Then if you don't know how to manage it, it becomes a problem. So those are those 3 things. You make it, you manage it, and you grow. Make it, you grow it, and you manage it. So you have to understand, see, those things have to be at the back of your mind. You don't just make money and leave it in your account. No, it's a tool. It's a tool. It's just like having a car. You have a car. You're supposed to use it and be moving around. So that money is supposed to work for you. So that's the first thing I want you to know. Money is a tool. And also money comes when you offer value. So remember I said we're going to look at Q3 and Q4 plans see, the whole idea is that I want us to push up our income a little. Our income goes a little bit. I don't know what you earned last year. Now, some of us set goals and we don't achieve those goals, and we're scared to set new goals. I beg you, after listening to me this morning, let that one end. Even if it means just adding 10% to the initial goal that you set, that is fine. So I want you to set your money goals. What are you expecting to earn this month? Okay, like we doubled, is it double? We tripled our income goal this year. And I'm telling you that as of June, we have covered our goal, our income for last year. So which makes me know that this year we'll meet that goal. We tripled it. Do you understand? So the first thing is having a goal. If you can see it, you can have it. Okay. I remember a man of God saying then that how he wrote, I don't know how many dollars he said he wanted, and he put it on a wall. Okay. And every day he was looking at it. At the end of the day, it came. So you have to focus. If you don't have a money goal, then you're wasting your time. Okay, so you know what happens is that you just be following the normal system. You just line up with everybody. Maybe I don't know where everybody is going to. Well, we have a goal. You know that, look, I have to be on the flight. I have to do this. I have to do that. So please, that's what I want you to do. Okay, so you have to understand that before you play the money game, you must master the rules. Okay. The economy rewards those who study it and not those who ignore it. So you must understand the economy and study it. So remember, the first thing I said is that you must put money to grow. Now, the unfortunate thing about the Nigerian system is that at school, they don't teach us how to scale. If I ask you what you studied here, I may have people that are accountants, maybe people that are doctors, maybe people that are lawyers. What they taught you was based on the colonial system. Just carry your certificate and be running around. Do you understand? But they've not taught us how to convert what we have or what we own, to bring us monetary value. And that is why I beg you in this month of July, I said 3 months, you're going to seek financial knowledge. You're going to learn about how money operates. I'm going to recommend about 4 books at the end of this session that you're going to read so that you can understand how money operates. Okay? So the earlier you understand the system, the better. I resigned. I used to be an employee. Okay, so I resigned since 2024. And I've been, 2014. And I've been learning since then. I didn't learn how to, in school, they didn't teach us how to run a business. They just taught us how to draw. And when I came out, set up an office, was drawing, nobody asked me any question because I needed to market. Do you understand? So the fact that you're the best student in your class, there's a book by Robert Kiyosaki, that says something about C students do better than E students, because it's not all about your grades. You need to be out there, okay, relating with people and meeting their needs. But they don't teach us that in school. Okay, so you have to understand that you have to keep learning and know that yesterday's insight can never foil today's assignments. Even today, as I'm talking to you, there are new money systems. Even today, as I'm talking to you, paradigms are changing. There's a book called Who Moved My Cheese? So we need to be able to monitor the economy and the situations around you and know when to move. I started as an architect. But when I now realized that most of my clients were looking for project managers, I moved though. What am I doing? I'm not saying I didn't dump architecture. I just got people to be managing that while I now focused on project management. Okay. And as I'm now doing a doctorate in project management. So I'm also watching the trends. I'm also moving to sustainability now. Do you understand? While I also invest in this hero project, which is also my pet project, because I know that women especially, we have the favor factor is high in our lives. Do you understand? I work in a male-dominated industry that when you enter platforms, they give room to you. They shift tables for you. Well, if you look at maybe grant systems, the percentage offered to women is higher. That is why if you check all the bank programs they're doing, it's only women they're empowering. So why don't you open our eyes? Okay, so that's what I want to wake you up to that reality and that fact that, look, there are opportunities out there, okay, that you can be part of, and all that. So remember, the first thing I said is money gaps, knowledge. Okay. So the second thing I'm going to talk about now is income gaps, which I've also talked about before, where you need to set goals. how do you want your money to grow between July and August? July, August, September, July and September. So just do me a favor, add 10%. I don't know what you earn this month, but just put it down for me and add 10%. If you have the faith and boldness and you're ready to do the work, you can make it 100%. And I'm going to show you what we can do, also to multiply that. Okay. So remember what I said. So the second issue is income gap. Okay. So we'll become so comfortable with what we're earning. We can earn more. Okay. Another problem is that some of us are relying on one income stream when we can actually have multiple income streams to hit our financial goals. Now, can I tell you something? You want to start a business, you must not be the one running it. Okay, so you can partner. So either you partner with people to run that business and take your markup. Let me tell you, I don't want to say this because this is also on YouTube, but I partner with people to deliver projects. We do projects around the country, and now we're trusting God to be able to do projects outside this country. I'm not on all of those sites. How can I be there or die now? I'm in one location, but those projects are going on. So if I say I'm the one that is going to do everything, then it's going to be a problem. So you're going to get to a point where, and I'm telling you now, whatever you're doing, you're going to get to a point where either you multiply your streams or you multiply your team, but something just has to increase a bit this month. I don't want you to break yourself down, but it may be time to multiply your team. Get people to do some things for you. Get someone to handle the marketing. Get somebody to handle the sales. Get people to do certain things. Get people to do the production. You may not even do the production. You can outsource it. So I want you to be thinking as I'm talking. What can you do to bridge the income gap? I've told you to add 10%. I've told you to add 20%. I've told you to add 100%. What can you do to meet up with that margin? Okay, you need discernment. Now remember, I want to read a scripture for you. Proverbs chapter 23 verse 5 said, when you set your eyes on those things which are not, you say, why would you set your eyes on those things which are not? It says, because riches certainly make wings for themselves, and they fly away as an eagle towards heaven. So you find out that money, that's why they call it currency, because it moves from one hand to the other, and it moves into the hands of the highest bidder. Everybody knows Dangote. He will do sugar, he will do salt, he will do road, he will do rice, he will do houses, he's doing bread, he's doing there's nothing that man is doing. And can I even ask you a question? All those things he's doing, is he inside any of them? He's not there. He just has people working for him. So in this month, in this quarter, and in this season, remember I said mindset gap, knowledge gap. We're going to trust God for the mindset of expansion, where we will start thinking bigger than us. I can partner with people. I can employ more tailors. I can lease an office. You understand? I can go into partnership with somebody where I can drop my products in their office and they have different sales points. Okay. Now, you're a career person. You can actually also do the same thing. I used to be a career person. Like, you remember I said I started working in 2014. I was also doing projects, but I wasn't the one doing it. I had people doing it for me. Then when they paid me, they paid them. You can't take all. So I'm nudging you to think on systems that can multiply your streams. Think of systems that can multiply your inflow to help you meet your financial goals. Now, if you don't think about that, it's not going to happen. Listen to one lady, she sells beddings, and she wanted to buy a land in Sulere. Okay, so what she did was she set up the goal to pay for the land in 1 year and put a direct debit on her account. Now, the direct debit on her account, she said, was 3 times more than what she was earning. She said that made her to sit up. You see the way she was marketing like a mad person because she did not want the direct debit to fail. Now, what put her to do? If you don't even set a goal, how do you know exactly what you should be pursuing and doing this month? Okay, you set that goal, you have to run ads. You set that goal, you may have to go on the road and start to market your products and your goods. You set that goal, you're a career person in that office, you start thinking about more values you have to offer. Okay, so I like I told you, I'm an architect, and when I was working, Beyond drawing, I had management skills. Do you understand? So I walked up to the management and told them there was, because I noticed, see, that's another thing. Just like a career person, you check the needs of the people. And once you can solve that problem, you get paid. The same thing with your firm. You check the needs of your boss. What's giving him headache? Solve it, and they will increase your salary, which was what I did. I found out the need of my oga. You know, he just kept complaining about, you know, he just be complaining. I just took it down. I knew it was what I could do. And I let to them. I said, look, I can do this thing. Give me 2 days. Every Thursday in the month, give me a platform and I'll bring up the staff. And that was what I did. Of course, people were jealous, you know, of his politics, but I did what I did. Do you understand me? And of course, he gave me more pay. Do you understand? So please try and learn to offer, you know, more value. So I've talked about the income gap. What and where do you want to be? Okay. Now, I want to talk about the money. Remember about expanding your streams and also expanding your team. Now, you may be saying, because I'm trying to address a lot of people on this call, you may be a startup and you're saying, show me the money. There are people that do grants. Why don't you apply for a grant? When I resigned, I wanted to start business. I didn't have any knowledge, okay? So I got a scholarship from, what do they call it? World Bank. I got a scholarship from World Bank. I applied, I got it, and I went to EDC. And in that program, they were offering people grant. But because I was in a service business, I didn't need the grants. I didn't go for it because what am I doing with that money? It was, and I wanted to bootstrap, you know, build my pace. I didn't want to owe anybody. So there are grants. You get grants, you don't pay back. There are lots of platforms that offer grants. If I get some of them, I can send them. There's crowdfunding. There are lots of opportunities on crowdfunding. There are angel investors. You can actually collaborate with people. I collaborate with consultants, okay? And so I collaborate. People come to me and I collaborate with them. They do the work, and I get them paid. So that is how it comes with me. So I do a lot of collaboration. Okay. You can have loans. I don't vouch for loan, but if you know your system is ripe, then you can do loans. I never do loans. Okay. Although there's this principle that you should try and leverage on other people's money, but that is when you have mastered the system. Okay. Then family can also help you. And like I said, you know, bootstrapping. Okay, then you'll be surprised that there are people around you that have money that want to invest. I had a lot of bad friends around me, and they were looking for where to throw in their money. So why can't they throw in their money into your business? So I'm telling you now that there are opportunities out there that can help you source funds for your business, and that is what I'm talking about. Show me the money. I've shown you about 7 places that you can make money from or source capital to start your business. The problem is that most of us are laid back. I used to be like that. Anything I don't have, maybe I just didn't like stress. So anything that poses stress for me, I'll just go back and I'll just relax, you know, and just down, you know, and do nothing about it. And I don't want to do the same thing. Okay, so I've talked about mindset issues. So let me just help you with some mindset tricks now. Okay, so I call them the 7-figure mindset map. Yep. Okay, so the first one is, like I said, you need to outgrow your current mindsets. And I said you have to attract new mindset for new level. So the first mindset is you must believe that there's money. I believe there's money. So when people are complaining about the economy that there's no money, I don't believe them. I always tell them that there's money, and the people that need my service will find me. So let that be your mindset. Don't say things that are negative about the economy. There's money everywhere. There's money coming to me. I have abundance over scarcity. I never talk bad about the economy. I always have what I say. So I know the economy favors me. I know that. So that's the mindset. Understand that there's abundance. Understand that there are opportunities for you. There's a job for you somewhere. There's a client for you somewhere. There's a customer for you. You know, somewhere. You must have it. And see, let me tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing. There was a point in my life where I was at the zero level that one day I needed to buy some things. Do you know, by the time I pulled all the money in my account, you know, there's a way you start transferring money from account A. Zenith, GT, by the time I pulled everything together, guess how much I got? 1,500. And I was in the market, I needed to buy something. So I was like, God, how did I get to this level? What exactly is the problem? That was when I humbled myself and I started learning. And that was when I made up my mind that I'm going to do what I'm doing. I'm going to start talking to a lot of ladies and encourage them and let them know that, look, like I said before, you see, on this stage called life, you're the hero. And you see, what's hero? Well, the good stories, so their stories always end well. Do you understand? So on this stage, you're not the victim. On this stage, you're the hero, and your story will end well. Then I try to open up your eyes to the opportunities, the mindset, the things that you can do to shift you. And I started doing those things. I will see them in the scriptures, I'll do them. I will study, I'll do them. Remember, I said that our educational system does not teach you, how to be financially successful. Do you understand? Financially independent. They don't teach you. They just want you to depend on a system. You'll be earning salaries all your life. You're not in control of anything. I'm not saying you cannot earn salary, but when you get that salary, invest it in something. So I started doing those things and things changed. This was 2014. This is 2025, over 11 years now. I'm happy. I'm good. That's very good. That's very, very good. If I tell you how much I've spent on programs this year, you will not believe me. Unlike me. Do you understand? Because I'm trying to pay for the things I never got when I went to school. And as I'm talking to you now, I'm teaching my kids. All my kids are making money now. They are still in the university. Because I want them to understand that mindset that nobody owes you and you don't owe anybody. So you dictate your income at your pace. You offer value and service. My son is in school and he's making money. He tells me sometimes when he went to his account, he tells me, Mommy, that is not my money. Somebody just paid me to do this for him. My daughter, the same thing. She's doing her IT. She's making money. She's working for me. I'm even paying her. And our people also paying her. So that's the same thing. There are skills they have that they can exchange for money. And as I'm talking to you now, understand it. There's money everywhere. So what you do is that, what can I offer somebody that will get them to, that will get the currents to transfer the money in their bank account into my bank account? And I'm telling you the truth. The things that I had the discipline, I did them and things changed, okay? So the second thing I want to share with you about money mindset is that you don't have to blame the economy, okay? So well builders don't blame the economy. They don't also blame their past. It's not your father's problem. Those days I'll be like, Father, why did they not born me in US? Why is Obama not my father? Why is, you understand? They must not be your father or your mother, but you can still make it. Okay, so let us stop the blame game and own it. Own it. Own it. Do you know, if you invest these 3 months in getting the right financial knowledge, things will shift for you. Okay, so the next thing is that, like I said before, smart money means that you earn money by solving problems, not just by grinding. So you now think of, I want to solve bigger problems, because bigger problems mean bigger money. Smaller problems mean smaller money. So who can I solve a problem for? When I work for clients, I go deeper than just doing drawings. There are some of them I rewind backwards and help them from when they bought the land. I add so much value that they're recommending me to their friends. Understand that it is value. Try to offer more. So, you offer your service so much that they feel that they're cheating you. You know that they're not cheating you. It's a pricing principle. They'll pay you. But offer your service like that, so that they feel that they're cheating you. That means they are getting so much value. They will so be grateful to you that when you tell them to refer you, they refer you with speed. And I always ask for referral, so don't keep quiet. Somebody has bought your product, I'll pester them. I'll be like, you're not referring anybody to me, or you're referring me. Okay, then the third one is CEO thinking. So stop thinking like a hustler. Start thinking like a system building leader. So remember I said you have to build systems, that must bring in those things to you. You can't be everywhere. So you must bring a system that can bring multiplication for you. The same way you plant a tree, it produces so many fruits. Let that your skill, let that your business, let your career produce so many fruits for you. Okay, so you can still be working in that office and have different businesses working everywhere. We come back home Saturday, you work on your business. Monday to Friday, You work out on your work. Then in the night, Monday to Friday, you can look into your books, look into the operations of your business. Okay. So that is it for I've talked about mindset map. Okay. So I'm going to now talk about the income gap and what bridges the income gap. So for you to make more, you need to sell more. Like I told you how I started an office then. I had an office, I paid though. Nobody bought anything. How would they buy? Do they know you? And the worst thing now is that social media is so noisy that they don't even know who is talking. So that's why people are doing so many crazy things on social media. So you have to find a way to reach your clients. So the first thing is find out who are they and where are they. So for entrepreneurs, you're selling products and you're selling services. Career people, you're selling your skill, you're selling your knowledge, and you're selling your wisdom. So you see that all of us are selling. So the first principle is that you must understand that selling is not a crime. Me, I used to be very shy to sell. So if you're on this call now and you're male, because I'm male, melancholy, if we don't talk, we hide. If you know me very well. And I don't like talking. Talking used to give me a headache. But you see, this is your mouth. Beyond selling, even to live as a Christian and to be victorious, is your mouth that will give you victory. The Bible said you shall have whatever you say. If you shall say to this mountain, be that way, or you open your mouth. So you can see this is a very powerful tool. So you must talk, you must sell. Okay. So remember, we are all selling. I said career people, you're selling your skill, you're selling your knowledge, you're selling your time. Sell it well. Entrepreneur, you're selling your product, you're selling your services, you're selling your profession. Sell it well. Okay, so don't be scared. So whether you're building a brand, you have a business, or you're climbing a career ladder, know that you're selling something. And three things: your value must be clear. Your value must be clear. So what are you selling? What value are you offering? Why should they buy from me and not buy from somebody else? Do you know, if you don't believe in your product, people will not buy from you. There's a way you market your product, they'll be so convinced. Social media now, people are lying anyhow. But you know what happens in social media? What you tell people is what they believe. But I don't want you to go lying. Package your product well, then speak about it very well. I'm selling groundnut. Oh, you see this, my groundnut? I added some this. If you eat it, this, and this kind of groundnut, let me try it. That is the same way. I'm an accountant. You're offering your value to your clients, and you're like, you see what other accountants do? It's fine, but you see us, we go the longer stretch to do A, B, C, D for you. Clients want more value. Even you, before you buy anything, you go online and check out the prices. And you take the one that is giving you the best value. Okay, so your value must be clear. Your offering must be strong. And your confidence must be louder than your fear. Hey, you see this fear factor, all of us have it. But you must get to a point where you know that, look, all of us are selling. Even Jesus was selling, didn't you? What do you think he was going around, walking around, marketing the kingdom? Was he not selling? It's the same thing. We're called to preach the gospel. He's selling. So maybe we'll start from that level. After preaching, they'll come back and sell our products. Okay? So we're all selling. Okay? So, for an employee, so since you were employed, you still have the same skills. You're not tired. You have to upgrade your skill, because you can't keep serving your bosses the same dish every day. We have to upgrade, take new courses, brand yourself. That's why I said your offer must be strong. So you have to keep increasing your offer. I can do this. I can do more. See what I can do. Okay, so I get to a point where I'm doing just more than design. I'm also doing strategic planning for the office. Of course, I'll earn more. Okay, so for entrepreneurs, you also cannot keep growing your business, okay, with the same knowledge. Okay, so if your offer has not evolved, then your income will also not increase at all. Okay, so whether you're an employee or whether you are an entrepreneur, I want to encourage you to upgrade, to upscale, and also evolve. So I'm going to talk about the last thing today. Ooh, what's the time? Okay, I'm doing well. I have a few more minutes. Okay, so I remember I said I'm going to do this in 1 hour. So the last thing I'm going to talk about, well, the third thing, not the last thing. So the third thing is I'm going to talk about discipline skill. So they are money-making systems. Okay. Sometimes we don't know what to do, because we are struggling with consistency. Maybe we have poor spending habits, or we have poor investment habits. We don't know how to budget, or we don't know how to stick to a financial plan, and maybe possibly we keep procrastinating on major financial decisions because we're afraid to take the necessary steps, we're shy, or we're just okay with what we have and we don't want to do more. I want to let you know this morning on this call, if you're hearing my voice, that lack is not your address. It is not your address, and it's also not your identity. So I don't want us to get very comfortable with our current level and also park there. So remember what I said, we need to shift. You need to shift. So as for us, in Dominion City, this is a season of supernatural shift. So where are you shifting to? And that's why I want to open up your eyes to the reality that let the shift also happen in your finances. Okay? If you're sitting on a seat now and somebody says shift, you will look and see where you're shifting to. I mean, you don't just shift because you can fall off the chair. So that's the same thing with money shift. That's why I said set financial goals so that you can know where you're shifting to. Okay? Now, Psalm 1 verse 3 says, that man that is planted on the word of the Lord shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of the water. He says, he brings forth his fruit in season, and his leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever he does shall prosper. So God is trying to tell us that there's a system. Okay? Now, if you stay on God's word, you'll be planted, and you bring forth your fruit in due season, and whatsoever you do will prosper. That's a financial system. So the same thing for our finances too. So there's also a financial system. You have to understand you have money management system. Okay? Do you have apps that help you to track your finances? Do you have a system to manage your tax planning and business account operation? Because the truth is that if you don't have those things, when the tax people come, what are you going to do? You start running around. Do you have tools that help you to budget? Can you track how your money goes, how your money flows, and how it grows? Do you have that in place? So that's one for business. But then if you're a career person, do you have a personal finance plan? Do you have a savings and investment schedule? Okay, where you have a direct debit in your account once they pay your salary, it goes into that account. Or do you have any side income management system? So that is the first thing. Okay, so let's have money management systems for the next 3 months. So the second thing I want to tell you also is that it's time to start converting your processes to system. You have to create templates. You have to create checklists. You have to create files. You have to have your links to your files, your payment system, your social media pages, so that it's easy to give them out when you meet a client. You have to have an email kit where you have the customers that you're talking to most of the time. You need to have your testimonial banks so that even when you're trying to market to people, there's a system where you can pick up testimonials and convince people that, look, my project or my product or my service works. Okay, then we have to have a marketing and visibility system. Now, I've mentioned a lot of systems. The whole idea is, which systems are you going to set up this month that will help you get to where you're going to? Now, you may be in the hundreds of thousands level, and you say, this month I want to earn 5 million. The question I always ask myself, maybe I want to enter billion level, is that the people that are doing billion level, what do they do? Where do they go to? Do you understand? What is their life like? Positively. Do you understand? Because if you don't get those things in shape, we're joking. Okay, so then the last one, the third one is accountability. You need a community. Your community is everything. So you don't rise beyond your community. There's WinBiz. You can meet women there. There's Enterprise Development Center. You can join them. There's LBS. Okay, so for us that are offering services, I said, look for where your clients are. I know where my clients are, and I go there. And let me tell you the trick. So I don't pay for those memberships or those events or those courses with my money. And that I understood that. So I started going with them. And most times, each one I got into, I got my money back. I just tell myself, let me borrow this money from myself and pay for this event or this membership or whatever. That before I come out of it, I'll get somebody that will pay for it. And there's no time I've done any of those things. I've not gotten somebody to pay for it like 3 times of what I paid. Because I'm very deliberate when I'm in class. I'm looking, who here is my potential client? And I start to target them. They don't know. And by the time I'm done, I've signed up a client. That's all of them. I always target them. I look at them. Who here has a project? So I'm doing my work. It's intentionality. Look for the communities that have your people. Some of them, it could be Facebook groups. For some of them, it could be Instagram groups. LinkedIn groups. But you have to find out where they are and target those people. Be in their faces until they trust you and until they buy from you. Then the fourth one is teamwork. You cannot scale wealth alone. Okay, so you need the right people at the right seats. So whether you're a business owner, whether you're a high-performing professional, whether you're a team, your team is your multiplier. Okay, so you must learn to build, you must learn to delegate, you must learn to lead well, even if you're starting small. So at whatever level you are, start thinking, start seeing yourself. I have pictures where I see that's how I started. I had a table where I have myself sitting with about 8 people, my team people, so that mindset that I cannot pay other people to work for me have to break. You want to die? You want to die? You understand? I read a story, somebody read the story of one man, he was a one-man business. He will be his driver. He will supply. One day he had an accident on Third Mainland Bridge. Broke his leg. Was in the hospital for some months. And that was when he opened up his eyes, because at the end of that, those businesses were given to other people and he almost lost his life. When he came out, he respected himself and started delegating, started employing people to do certain things. You mustn't do everything by yourself. Another story I heard was somebody that was a bricklayer. How you take police to move bricks up. So because he wanted to earn all the money alone, instead of getting somebody to stay down and load and he will stay up, he set up the machine where he will load, it will go up, then he will go. While he was doing it, his leg got trapped. The same problem. The guy was hospitalized. Do you understand? So you must understand that you need teams. You must delegate. Because the fear is that you're starting. Let me tell you what that thing does for you. It makes you expand your capacity, because we're 10 now. Okay, I have to earn more. So you go out there and go and market. You go and think of how to earn more. So maybe what you're earning now is 100K. That's in quote, I'm just using 100K, and you want to employ somebody that you pay 50. So that means you need to earn 200. You sit down and think, how much I make 200 so I can pay this person? Or you need a team of 10 people. What do I need to pay them? Okay, so and so. So that means I should be earning so and so now. You sit down and do the work. Do you understand? So that is how we need to go. So for professional people, I want to encourage you to get collaborators and also your peers that you can also delegate to or partner with. Okay, you can partner with virtual assistants or get assistants or get part-time support. You can partner with mentors and professional allies. Okay, people that will help you. Remember, the concept is multiplying your time, multiplying your influence, and also multiplying your opportunity. So that's the whole idea. Okay, so I don't know whether you were able to download the workbooks that I sent to you. So if you downloaded that workbook, I'm going to go to it now, okay? Because now remember, I said I was going to help you see your income gaps and your income map, which I've done. I also said I was going to show you some money moves, which I've done. I was just pushing them together so that I don't waste time. Then the last thing we're going to do is that we're going to have a 5-day income growth system, okay? So if you were able to open that, that's the file I shared with you. I'm going to open mine now, and I'm going to go through it with you. So I want us to create money goals for the next quarter. That's why I called you here, and I'll take a few questions and we're done. So thank you for your time. I hope you learned something, though. I hope you did, because I'm teaching you from my wealth of how many years experience, over 10. Yes, I hope you learned something. So I've opened the Smart Money Challenge book. So if you have it, just open your own and it will go there. I'm going to also type some books that I'm recommending that we should read in the chat box now. Okay, I've read all these books I'm putting here. I've read them. So I don't recommend books I've not read, because I don't want you to read rubbish. Maybe things that also don't align with your faith. So I'll put it in the chat section. So the first book is A Millionaire Mind, have Eka. That was, so remember I told you about my 1005 rock bottom. That was the first book I read, that Millionaire Mind, and it shifted a lot of things. I stopped the blame game, because I could blame my family. I'd be like, why did you born me? Oh, I was blaming God. Why did a rich man not give birth to me? But I'm happy with my life now, because it's also an opportunity for me to prove that, look, I'm not, that there was no mistake in the factory when I was made. You understand? So I'm true to type. And on, like I said, on this stage called life, I'm the hero and I'm playing my part, and nobody's going to take it from me. And that's the same thing I'm saying to everybody on the call this morning. Okay, so I said the Millionaire Mind Hacker is there. Then the second one, Teach You to Be Rich, powerful book. Read it. The third one I've read maybe 2 or 3 times is Rich Dad Poor Dad. See, all these things change your mindset. What helped the rich dad was his mindset about money. He understood how money works. And you know, the person that they were calling poor dad was not poor, but that's literally. But you know what made him poor at the end of the day was after 40 years, what do you have left? Now, what you're doing now, I'm sorry, I can't go into financial management system, but do you have a system where you're setting aside, you're making investments that would secure your future? It could be a pension plan, okay? It could be like, you know, I told you when we started, I said, I'm building assets that can secure my future. Do you understand? So those assets, you know, there are some assets that keep producing for you every month. You can talk to your banker. There are different instruments. You can do treasury bill, you can do fixed deposit, you can do bonds. Do you understand? There are some of them that can earn, I'm not joking, serious money every month. You can do shares. I don't do shares. You understand? But you can actually walk up to your banker and talk to them and say, what are your packages? What are your percentages? And they will explain it to you. Tell them, if I put this amount of money here, what would it make for you? Now, you may say you're not earning much, but the discipline of setting aside money to invest is what you need. I started it on time. Those days, I'll be doing direct debits and they'll be moving the money from my account. Then it should become maybe like 100K. Then I'll push it into something like that. When the big money comes, you know, and that is how, to him that is faithful to in little, you understand? God will hand over big things to him. So you watch how he watches you. Are you faithful with your finances? Remember, it's God that gives the power to make wealth. He's not a God of waste. Or you may even say that you don't have energy for the wealth. You move to the next person that has a vision for the kingdom. I want to do this. I want to do this. And you will partner with the person to get those things done. Okay, so the next one is cash flow quadrant. So after reading Rich Dad, I knew I just set a goal. Please, I want you to set a goal. Part of the goal that you're going to set in this quarter is that I'm going to get knowledge on financial management. I'm going to get knowledge on financial independence. I'm going to get knowledge on investments. Okay, I read Rich Dad Poor Dad. I had to read cash flow quadrants. So I understand the different quadrants. Where do I belong? So my goal then was to shift from one quadrant to the other, and that's I've been shifting. And that is your goal. That should be your goal, to shift from the 4 quadrants. Okay, I'm in the 3rd. I'm looking at getting into the 4th quadrant, and I'm going to get there soon. Okay, some of us are in the 1st quadrant. Okay, so then there are tools that you can also use to track your income. Google Sheets. There's a budgeting tracker there. Did I saw it? I was shocked. There's also an income expense sheet. So somebody was asking me the other day. I'm struggling with keeping records. Go and get that sheet. It's on Google. I mean, Google Drive, Google Sheets. You save it every day. You're putting. If you look at the money that has passed through your hands, you know that you're made for more. Do you understand? And you also start paying attention to your skill and the things that this hand that God said He will bless is also producing for you. Then there's an app called Account Manager app. Is on I do Android. I don't have energy for Apple, so you can also get it and begin to do it. So that is it from me. And let's quickly go through the sheets like I talked about, and we'll tidy up. So I called it the Smart Money Challenge Workbook. So if you have it, let's just look at our 90 days now. Now, remember, I said, let's set, we're working on the, level 1 is a 7-figure mindset. Okay, 7-figure means anything from 1 million. Okay, 7-figure. So from 10 million, it enters 8 figures, right? So it could be a 7-figure, it could be an 8-figure, it could be a 9-figure, it could be a 10-figure. Okay, so what is your revenue goal? So the target date for us here is October. So this is July, August, September. So October 5th, what are you looking at? This thing I earned. So you look at your revenue last month. By October 5th, what am I expecting? So please, I want you to put it down there, okay? Then number 2 says, what 3 critical skills am I committed to mastering? So for everybody here, the first skill is to master financial knowledge. Go and learn it. Even me, I'm still going through those things. Do you understand? Because for business people, you have to be able to read your accounts. You have to be able to read figures. So I need to do that very well. So I understand there's a way they can look at it and know whether you're making loss or not, or making profit or not. So those are the things you need to learn. So what critical skills do you need? You have to, so they call it reading numbers. You have to learn how to read numbers, okay? Then the third one, I explained some of those mindset upgrades I needed us to have. So you can now do that by yourself, up with your declaration. Now, the second level 2 is the 7-figure sales system. Now, what kind of sales system do you need to put into place that can add you an extra 1 million? That is the question I'm asking here. So who are your customers? Okay. What results do they want to have from you? An example of somebody that you have gotten that results from. Okay. So that's one. Then 2, you need to start talking to people. But what is the obstacle to asking? Is it that you're shy? Now, some of us are scared to ask because we don't want to hear no. But I can tell you the truth is that the more no's you gets you closer to your yes. Okay. And I learned it from a salesman then that was selling houses. They said every day his boss will send him out. He will go around the neighborhood selling properties. And by the time you come back, you come back with a no. The boss kept sending him back. He said all of a sudden, it took him time, but people got to know him. They would just be having him as the salesman that does this. When they needed to buy a house, they called him. Everybody was calling him because he was the only one they knew. It's just that at that point in time, they did not need him. So I even do the same. I have a client base once in a while. I send them messages and all that. And they will not remember, okay, you're still here. Yeah, come, let's do this. So you have to have a system of selling. Okay, so what is your obstacle to selling? Is it that you don't have a system? Is it that you're scared to sell? We can get to a point where we can get more people to help us to sell. Okay, give them commissions and all that. Okay, so we're going to ask people to buy from us. So there are 3 acts we're going to do. We're going to ask people to buy from us. We're going to ask people to buy again from us. I'm also going to ask people again to give us referrals. Okay, refer us to other people. Okay, so you have used this, refer me. So that's our goal for the next 3 months. You can say every week I will ask 5 of my clients to refer me to 5 of their friends. And I will send them what they will use, maybe a package or an email or a text. Please, can you just share this on your DP? Can you just send this to somebody? So that is what you need to do. Okay, then even if you're a career person, there are skills that you have that you can monetize. If you were living in the UK where their income is highly taxable, some of them do other things. You see them after work, they're making hair, they're making clothes, they're barbing. Side income. So are there things that you can do by the side, maybe possibly over the weekend? It could be coaching. You could be doing lessons for, you're here, you're a very strong maths person. You can just get 1 person or 2 people or 5 people that you can be doing training for them every Saturday. That is extra income. But you just need to sit down and think, what else can I do based on the... So start by listing your skills. Do you understand? Remember I said money is an exchange for value. So what in my life can I exchange? That widow, the prophet said to him, what do you have in your house? There must be everybody here, there must be something to exchange. Check, what do you have to exchange? And she said, it's only oil. And he now told her, package it. So I'm talking to MJ, Janet, Maureen, Shalom, Ihueze, Olive. What do you have? Treasure, Suzanne, what do you have extra that you can exchange? Okay, and begin to exchange it. Okay, and I'm telling you that you make serious progress. You know, it may not be easy. The water may be too cold, or you may feel like you're sinking, but I want you to trust God and you're going to pull through. Okay. So I want you to commit to stopping the obstacles that are stopping you if you're looking at that workbook. Okay. And understand that when I ask, most of us don't ask. But the Bible says it, ask and you shall receive. So this week, I want you to ask. This month, I want you to ask. This quarter, see, even when you see me, ask me, do you need this? I sell it. Do you know anybody that needs it? I have plenty. Do you need this? I can do this. Can I do a test run for you? Ask. Everybody say, I will ask. I will ask. Even me, I'm asking. Okay? Yeah. So then the third one is, I will ask somebody to work with me, to continue to work with me, to work with on a higher capacity with me. I can do more, you know, and also refer me to their family and their friends. Then level 3 is, we talked about your offer. So this is what I offer as a business person, and this is what I offer as a career person. So as a career person, I'm an accountant, but beyond that, I can do this, I can do that. List the values. You see, you need to understand the package called you. The things that God packaged when he made you. If you understand it, begin to list the things that are loaded inside of it. And you can begin to say, okay, which one can I do for free? Which one can I tag a price? Who needs this one? Begin to market it. Okay, so then I talked about money management systems. We need to start budgeting. We need to start doing income and expense tracking. If you have not been doing it, I have a system that I used to do that so that at the end of the quarter, when the accountant comes in, I just send it to him. Okay, so some of you can also use your bank accounts to do that. If you tag your payments very well, then they can also extract that information from there. Then lastly, I said, remember to convert your systems to processes. So I want you to list the templates. What do you need to convert? You understand? Because for you to employ people, you need to convert them to processes, those things that you need to do. Okay. I used to, I told you I used to draw. I've converted it to a process. So when people come, I just send them to, the platform where those things are, take them through training and they follow up. So it's easier for somebody to also train people with those templates, even if I'm not there, because there are videos that I've recorded and it's online. Okay, and they can watch it and I'm free. So that is the thing you can do. Then accountability. Your community is everywhere. How many apart from communities, even the rooms you enter is everything. Okay, so which new rooms will you enter this quarter? I have a major room I'm going to enter this week. Okay. Yes. And I have people that I'm targeting. There's something they know I don't know, and I want them to teach me. Okay, so there are people like that in your life that you will also, you can actually start at a lower level. Anybody that is a step higher than you has something to offer you. Okay, so start from that level. I have people like that, a step higher than me. Do you understand? If I'm stuck, I talk to them and they help me. Then lastly, I said team and delegation. So I said you cannot scale alone. You need the right people on your seat. So this quarter is also a quarter where we're going to delegate. I want you to employ somebody that will add value to you. But before you employ that person, you have to also come up with a strategy on how to make that person's money. That's a person's salary. So meaning that we have to check, what can I do to earn this money that can pay this person? Me, I don't think like that anymore. Because when the person, whoever I'm employing, when I'm employing, I know the money will come anyhow. Do you understand? Because it gives me more time to work. So paying them now is not a problem. Do you understand? So that is all for the delegation. So those are the 4 things if you downloaded the Smart Money Moves Challenge workbook. Okay, so that's all I have to teach you today. I hope you learned a lot. I've really taught you a lot of major things that I know that if you do one single thing, you will bridge the gap in my finances. If I look at myself then, I think that year was 2015, and I look at myself now, the gap is a lot. And I'm happy I'm still growing. So I look at myself now, and I'm adding 10 years of my life, and I know where I'm heading to. The gap is also a lot, and I'm also trying to bridge it. The most important thing is that I've seen a picture of where God is taking me to. There's a promised land for you. If you can't see it, you can have it. Okay, so what's that land for you? Okay, at some point in your life, you're going to be 50, you're going to be 60, you're going to be 80. At that point, you can't be running around. You need to be financially independent where your investments are yielding money for you. And what I've taught you today are things that will help you set up proper systems against your future. And if you read those books, it will also help you to start aligning with those things that you need to start doing today to secure your future. So I want to thank you for your time. And I'm going to take a few questions before you call it a day. Thank you so much.